All right, we are going to quickly find out how to create groups. Now, the reason you need to create groups is so that students can add you as a collaborator in a specific project they're working on, or that they can add other classmates as collaborators in that project. And you can later on, at some point, if you want to assign a project to everyone in your class, you can do that as well. All right, so we are going to do the groups thing. So up here, you're going to click on groups. So this is my test group. This is my Rune 7 one I did last year. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to call this new group Engaging Students. Exclamation. Okay, and not that makes sense for a group title. And then there's a couple of ways you can add people. You can add, scroll, and find all your students. Pop in their names. You know, if I'm looking for Lindsay, I can pop in names and find them. I'm going to do that with just for Lindsay. And you do that by just clicking on their name once. It's not very intuitive because it just, the shading of the person is very slight. But I've clicked on her name and it's shaded, and it also said selected one user. So that's what I know. I can search for another name potentially. And it's still Lindsay's selected. She's disappeared from the list, but I know she's selected because I can see one user in there and I can add another person. So this is probably going to take you a little bit of time because you have to add all your students, but it depends. If your class is really independent and able to do things themselves, there's another way. You can send them a code that they can put into a group they want to join, and I can show you that in a moment. But if you're thinking, you know what, I want to kind of control this so that I can just, when they click on groups, there's their class. You know what, I'm going to change my group name to like 7C, or let's go 5A to show a class, for example. All right, so I'm going to click create, and boom, there's my 5A, there's my one member in there. If I want to go in there and add members, I can always add members to the group. One thing that we wanted to point out really quickly is that when you are creating your groups, it's not intuitive, but you are going to want to go ahead and add yourself to the group so that your students can find you when they are sharing with you. So I'm going to show you how you might do that. In this case, I'm going to click add members to the group that I've created. I'm going to search for myself. I know this is not intuitive again, but I'm going to add myself to the group. There I am, as listed as a member. Now, when students are creating projects and wanting to look for me to collaborate, to add, so that I can give them feedback, and just me, not the whole class, then they can find me. I can rename the group. I can start a group project, goes to everyone, mind you. And then I want this right here. This is our group code. So if I give this to my class in the Meet chat, for example, they can, when they're, let's go back home here, back to home. If I was to join, they can, in their homepage, join group class, punch in that code, and be automatically put in there. That's an easy way to get all your class in there quickly. But sometimes you might want to control it so you can enter each student and have them in there. Now, the reason why you want to do that is we found that when we go to projects and when students, pretend this is a student window now, and they're creating a new project and they're clicking collaborate next, and they want to select next, we're finding that this is much more controlled for students. They're only able to see certain people. So if, in order for you to be one of the people they see, they can look you up from their groups, right? Or they can just search for you, their teacher, through here. So this is a feature, this is a kind of a way of controlling, I guess, how much collaboration can happen, but it does mean that we have to create groups for our students. So hopefully that makes sense. Let us know if you have any questions.